Hey, Erica. How are you doing? Okay.
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I do.
Okay, I got a new computer, so I don't have to call in. I got a new laptop.
We won't see
All
two
right.
of you then.
Yeah, I don't have to do both things anymore. Thank goodness.
Okay.
All right. Talk to you soon.
All righty.
All right. Bye-bye.
Hey, Tom, good evening.
How's it going?
It's going all right.
Good, good.
You had a lot of water washed through here over the weekend, man.
Yes, I heard. I took a quick trip up north and I was getting messages throughout the evening, and Sunday
Yeah.
morning at 2 a.m. I got woken up for the problems they were having on Oakwood.
Yeah,
So we got
Yeah.
a team in there to get the water down.
yeah.
The problem
It
is
seemed
with the
all right.
volume- Yeah, the volume of water comes down faster than those drains can push them out.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah. You know, the next day, the Stafford still had some standing water, but that's Stafford. Stafford's like a swamp, so.
Yeah, well, that whole area of town is lower than the entire city. Even in the dry season, the water table is high.
Yeah,
So you could dig 2 to 3 feet down there and start tapping into water.
yeah,
And that's, that doesn't help a lot.
yeah. Well, at least we missed the worst of it. I think Louisiana's going to get the worst part of that storm.
Mr. Best, how are you?
Tom Nash, my good friend, how are you?
Looks like you're hanging on a cliff.
No, that's the Golden Gate Bridge behind me, sir.
Yes.
Don't
Or it
jump.
It could
I'm
be a
speaking-
heart.
I'm speaking live and in Technicolor from San Francisco.
Yeah.
Not. Tommy,
Yes.
since you're there, I think I saw a bunch of stuff about Forest Drive with the flooding.
Yeah, there's one area over there where one of the drains sets a little further back, like
Correct.
where the sidewalk would be. Lazaro
500
and I
block.
Lazaro and I discussed that this morning. We're gonna do some dredging there and do a pad of asphalt off the roadway into that drain to see if that'll help percolate the water from the street to the drain a little faster. But a lot of those drains work by gravity, so they've got to kind of work themselves down. And here lately, over the last maybe year or two, we've had more higher volumes of rain than we've ever had.
Yeah, right.
And these drains can't seem to push the water fast enough. So we also were discussing somewhere over there off of Oakwood between Lee
Lee
And I-
Drive, yeah.
Lee and Sheridan, I believe it is. We have a swale area over there big enough that maybe we could put in some kind of a pump station there, similar to what VG did. But the only problem is VG said that their pump station over there cost them about $1 million.
Wow.
So we
Yeah, but I'm sure they got it funded though.
yeah, it was through grants and different things, but that's something that takes a little time. And
Right.
somebody who knows the knowledge of how to apply and get those types of grants.
And also the walking path around Stafford Drive, I think that gets flooded. We get a lot of rain, is that-
Stafford Park is below grade. It's lower than the grade of the road. Stafford is always going to be like that until that has to be raised. That's been a topic of discussion before I even became director. That
Yes, it
area of
has.
land over
Yes,
there
it
is
has.
so low.
You're right.
Yeah, they're at least a
Hello,
foot or two
hey,
below
guys,
the grade of the road.
Guys, can we wait until
Hi,
the
Willie.
meeting? Hi, how are you?
Good, sir.
I would suggest we wait until the meeting to discuss all these things, please.
I know, we're just saying.
I know, but these are things that could come
You're
up.
right, William. You're
in the
absolutely
future.
right.
All right, Maria. All right.
Sign language, Bob.
Gotcha, kid.
Have they said hello to Loli?
No, I haven't even shown her yet. Maria, look at us.
San Francisco.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to
Oh, is that a dog? What is
I'm
that?
trying to get Lola into this. She's sitting next to me for the meeting this
You're
evening.
gonna hurt your back.
In case
Bob,
there's
I got
any
a dog named Lola also.
Oh, no.
Fred, is that right? Is that
Mine's
right?
one of three though. I got three dogs, so I think I
Oh,
got you on
God.
that one.
Well, my wife and I have had several over the years, but yeah, our current dog is Lola. Yep.
All right.
American Bulldog.
Those are great.
Yes, sir.
Walter, how's it going for you?
It's going all right. It's been
Yeah.
stressful.
You?
The coronavirus won't get me. It'll be everything around the coronavirus, the reaction
about-
to the coronavirus.
Was your school doing the same platform or no?
No.
You have your own, right? You weren't
Yeah.
doing that K through 12?
Yeah. No, but because we're district managed, we're on the school district's internet network. And that's been crazy. I had to send my teachers home because they couldn't get reliable internet here, and they were hosting all the classes. So they've been home since the first day. After the first day, we're like, hey, you guys are going home. We're gonna try from there.
Amazing. How
It's
it's
been
no, it's
crazy.
amazing how everyone has to be so incredibly flexible and just come up with all these different ways to get around to the end product.
Yeah.
Erica,
Yes,
Erica, can you mute Bob for a minute, please?
sure.
Where's Jaime at?
He's in.
He's in?
Yes, he is.
Okay, Erica, you can unmute Bob.
There's Jamie.
Bob, were you talking too much that they muted you?
No, they should mute you.
I haven't said a word.
I don't have control over this, Jamie.
Okay, Eric, are we ready to call the roll?
You're spot on, Mayor. Right on time.
Are we in the meeting? Do I have to say our name?
The meeting has started. When it's public comment, I'll open that portion of the meeting and when we get
Okay.
to it. So I'll just raise your
Okay.
hand. Are you calling? You're on the phone, right?
Yes, I'm on the phone.
Okay. To raise your hand, you have to press *9. So I'll read the instructions once we get there. Okay.
All
Okay,
right,
call the
thank you.
roll.
Okay. There we go. Mayor Bain,
I'm here.
Vice Mayor Fahet,
Here.
Councilman Best,
Present.
Councilman Mitchell,
Here.
Councilman Petrolanda.
Here.
We start with invocation, Councilman Best.
Thank you, sir. Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our defense against the wickedness and snares of the devil. Hail, Holy Prince, through your intercession and the power of Almighty God, cast into hell Satan and all other evil spirits which prowl through the world seeking the ruin of souls. Amen. Thank you.
Okay, we stand for Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
Pledge allegiance to the flag
To the flag
Flag
of the
of the
United
States of America
America,
and
to
to
the
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 republic
republic,
for which it
which
stands,
stands one
One
nation
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and
liberty
justice
and
for all.
justice for all.
Okay, we have no, number 3, no other business agenda. Number 4, awards and presentations, none. So we get right to open forum. Erica, read the disclaimers for open forum. People can get in.
yes. For those who would like to make comments during this meeting, please dial 305-805-5151 or 305-805-5152. Input the meeting ID 863-9512-4146, followed by the pound sign. There is no participant ID. Press the pound sign again. If you would like to raise your hand or make comments from your phone, please press star 9. Then you will be called by the last 3 digits of your phone number. Anyone who would like to speak, please dial star 9. I have a person ending in 713.
Mhm.
713, go ahead.
There we go.
This
Yes,
is
go ahead.
Genevieve Steffen.
Go ahead, you're on.
Hi, Genevieve Steffen from 1450 LeBaron Drive, Miami Springs. I did send in a written report of what I wanted to talk about, but the main thing is that once again, us on the east side, and I heard some talking early on before we actually got on about the flooding over on Forest Drive. My whole backyard was totally flooded on LeBaron, and my neighbors was too, because there's no drainage or the drains aren't working. So, but my main thing is that I want to, I'm concerned about what's going on at East Drive and 36th Street with all the hotels that are so run down. It seems like the police are there constantly taking care of people that are overdosing, and there was a shooting, and it's like our neighborhood has just become a hoodlum area. People are sleeping on the bus stop. I believe they're homeless. They've made that their home and nothing gets done about it. It looks horrible driving down 36th Street. And also on the corner of Miller Drive and 36th Street, that old diner's been vacant for years. It's disgusting to see that coming into our neighborhood. If any of us had our property in that deplorable condition, we would be fined and other steps taken up to clean up immediately. So once again, we, the East Side residents, would like some attention given to us over here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Anybody who would like to speak, please dial, press star 9. Phone number ending in 273. Go ahead.
Yes. Yes, I would like to reiterate.
I need
the person that
your
just
name.
spoke.
Wait a minute. I need
I'm
at least
sorry.
your name.
I'm sorry, Crystal Edwards.
Okay.
Okay. We would like to reiterate the previous person's comments. We live also on the east side of Miami Springs by Miller Drive. And I have never seen in my 40 years living here this neighborhood in this kind of shape. The diner at the end of the street is absolutely disgusting. I would be embarrassed to have anybody come to my home and turn down Miller Drive. The apartments are, you know, I have a teenage daughter. I don't even want her walking down the street. And I pay high taxes to live in a nice neighborhood, and I don't feel like I live in one anymore. So what I would like to back up what she said, and I really hope something can be done about this, because I'm not happy to live in Miami Springs anymore, and I'm sad to say that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Phone number ending in 586. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Isabel Fulton. I live on Forest Drive.
I'm
also on
sorry.
the east side.
I'm sorry, I didn't get your name. Say it again, please.
Sure, Isabel Fulton.
Okay.
And again, wanted to reiterate what's been said. We have just been having a lot of just individuals walking down our streets. We had our bicycles stolen from our backyard. It's just been really bad. And, you know, I've been working from home, so it's been a little bit easier to see when someone is walking by or what have you, but we don't see a lot of police presence. We just see a lot of these individuals that we know don't live in the neighborhood. They're constantly walking by, and, you know, they're getting into cars. You know, unfortunately, some of the cars are open, but, you know, they're getting into places that they shouldn't be. And they, you know, the common denominator here is all of the transients that are living over at the hotels there on 36th Street and East Drive. And so we would really like for the city council to address this somehow and to make sure that, you know, the citizens of Miami Springs are safe. I mean, we don't feel safe right now. And then if I'd like to add, you know, we do have on Forest Drive flooding all of the time. And it's something that I think also needs to be addressed. You know, there are properties that have been damaged because of the flooding. So, you know, we have our little neighborhood here, neighborhood association, and everyone's great, but we feel like no one really listens to us. Nobody cares about us. You know, we don't live in the bird section. We live in the east side. So it would be really nice if, you know, the city council can address this in some manner to, you know, to help us here, because, you know, we are still citizens. We still pay the high property taxes just like everybody else. So it would really be fantastic if we can get some assistance with the flooding on Forest, as well as with the crime that's been occurring over here. So that's what I'd like to say.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Hi.
Hi, how's it going? This is another East Sider on Forest Drive.
I need your name, please.
Carlos Velasquez.
Thank you.
531 Forest Drive. No, we just wanted to bring up the same things the lady that was just speaking brought up. We just got on the call, but we have massive flooding this past weekend, and those big rains almost got into the house, got into my garage, did a little bit of damage, but you know, there's no type of real good drainage over here. Every time we get a little bit of rain, our streets are flooded, especially down Forest Drive. Everyone tries to cut when there's traffic on east, so everyone's speeding through there. And then just the crime, just 36th Street and East Drive, it looked like Calle Ocho back in the days. All you see disgusting women walking around, pimps, like it's really disgusting, you know, and we got to do something about it. Bums living on the south side of 36th Street, right at the bus stop. There's three of them. They've been there for about a week already, living there.
Okay. Thank you for your concerns. Anybody else?
Anyone attending by telephone, please dial *9. If by the Zoom app, you can just raise your hand.
Erica, I don't know if it cut out for others, but your audio cut out for me. Maybe if you can repeat the message.
Repeat it. Anyone attending the council meeting by phone, please dial *9. If by attending the Zoom app, please raise your hand or use the raise hand function.
Are you okay, Loli, for me? Sorry.
Looks like I don't have anyone else, sir.
Okay, we'll leave it. We'll close the open forum, but if anybody rings in, we'll accommodate them. As we go forward, as long as they're cordial and have a good, something good to say or constructive to say. We go on to 6A, August 17, 2020, budget workshop meeting. We go 6B, August 24, 2020, special meeting. And we also go to the August 24, 2020 regular council meeting. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to move, sir, A, B, and C.
Second.
Have a correction I'd like to submit for the August 24th minutes.
For the special meeting or for the regular meeting?
It's the regular meeting.
Regular, okay.
Okay, for item, let's see. Item 13C, where my comments, it says, this last sentence of my comment says, she stated that as the council moves forward in the budget process to consider increasing the allocation of funds for future tree planting. What I said was we should maintain the current allocation of funds, not to increase it, but maintain the current allocation of funds for new tree planting.
I'll make the correction.
Motion stands with the addendum.
Second.
Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Fahet,
Yes.
Councilman Best,
Aye.
Councilwoman Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes, we go on to, there was no reports from boards and commissions. We go to 8 public hearing. This is a resolution.
This is a resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of Miami Springs, Florida, adopting the proposed millage rate for fiscal year 2021 in the amount of 7.3300 mils, which is 5.35% higher than the rollback rate of 6.9575 mils, to balance the general fund for fiscal year 2020-2021 and providing for an effective date. You have a memo that I attached to this resolution. And there were basically, after our budget workshops, there were a number of items that were left for discussion. One of them was the $2,000 for the League of Cities ad. Second one was the allocation of $14,000 for the River Cities and how we were going to reimburse that for next year. Third was the allocation of $2,000 for the doggy bags for the doggy stations that the Rotary requested. Fourth one was the $25,000 that we have for tree planting. There was consideration of either moving that to reserves, using it for tree planting, or moving it to tree trimming. And the final one was Councilman Best requested discussion of the $45,000 for the lobbyist. Okay. Let's kind of go in order here. Number one, what was number one? The $2,000 for the League of Cities ad and dinner. Okay. Do I have any comments on whether we want to take that out of the budget, keep it in the budget, some kind of a motion to go ahead and vote on to do what we want to do with that $2,000?
Mayor, through the chair, I'd like to whack that.
All right, well, let's then make a motion and let's see if we get a second and we'll vote on it.
Mayor,
You have one, sir. You have one, sir.
I have a motion. Okay, do I get a
I think
second?
Heidi has something she has to say.
Just procedure, Mayor, if we can just read the resolution for the budget since they're both public hearings.
I'm sorry, they're right. Okay, I got it. This
Yeah,
is a
perfect.
public hearing. That's my fault. This is a public hearing. Anybody wish to speak on this, on the budget,
Mayor, if
on
we
this
first read the
resolution?
resolution on the budget, the name, just the title.
What? Yeah, what?
If we can read the name of the resolution.
Go ahead, William, read the resolution. Well, William jumped right into the,
But I read the resolution in the beginning. That's how we
He
started.
did.
The
Yeah,
budget,
yes, he
millage
did.
and
okay.
budget.
So what do you want? What do you want now, Heidi? Heidi, what do you want now?
We read the resolution for millage. If we can also read the budget reso at the same time.
The second one, okay.
Oh, on the thing. Okay.
Yeah, the second one is item 8B. That's a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, adopting a tentative budget for the fiscal year commencing October 1st, 2020 and ending September 30th, 2021, confirming date of second hearing and providing for an effective date.
Okay,
We can
now I
discuss.
can open up to a public hearing. I open it up to anybody wishing to speak on these items.
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah, go ahead.
hi, Jose Fuentes with Becker Polikoff, along with my colleague Alex Alamo on this call. I know that, so
Jose, let's wait until the public, any of the public wants to
This
speak
is
on
not
this.
this. This is not this item.
Let's let anybody call in first, Jose, then we'll let you have your say for what's going on, okay? Anybody there for us, Erica?
No, sir. Well, let me make the announcement. Anyone who is calling into the meeting, please dial *9. For those attending through the Zoom app, just use the raise hand function.
Erica, I have a question. I know there were several emails. I saw several emails on public comment regarding it, and I guess all the council meant, well, I know that all the council received them too, regarding the $25,000 for the new tree planting. Are you going to read those out? Because they were sent for public comment.
I think that's the next item, Councilwoman.
Those were
I'm trying to
forwarded.
go.
He's trying to go in order here.
I'm
He's
trying to
doing
go within the order of what we're talking about.
Right.
So I have some structure. So
Right.
first of all, we're talking about, is anybody who'd like to speak on the budget?
Well, no, you, Mayor, through the chair, you mentioned 4 items and we're on the first
I know,
one.
but I made a mistake by not putting it to the public to speak first. This
Okay,
is
you
an
took care
open
of that
forum.
though.
Nobody's
You took care
come
of
up yet. I'm giving them a chance to dial in, or if anybody's calling in on the budget. I'll give them a few
Yes,
more minutes.
Okay.
Mayor, if you'd like, go ahead you can go ahead, and if we see anyone come in, we can.
Okay, I was going to do that, but I
That's
would
fine.
like to, okay. Nothing, Erica?
Sorry, no, sir. Nothing.
Okay, we'll continue with the budget, and if anybody chimes in to talk about the budget, we'll let them talk. Okay, now we start off with the $2,000 for the League of Cities dinners or promotions. I have Bobby, Councilman Best, go ahead.
I made a motion that we do not allow that.
Okay, do I get a second?
William, I have a question. A second for discussion.
Thank you. We got a second discussion.
William, in order to, is William there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Of course he is.
Can you clarify something for me? In order for us to keep the rate that we want, the millage rate that we want, what exactly we need to whack? As Bob Best put it. Can we keep the millage the same?
Timmy, you're too kind.
I think
I'm losing you, Councilman Petrovando.
Councilman Petrolano, I'll just say it this way. I think that Councilman Best is looking to cut that out of the budget
I
and
am.
not spend that money, which will reduce the millage rate.
No,
Correct.
Mayor, correction, it'll reduce the amount we're taking from reserves,
Okay,
but the millage rate is
Well,
still
yeah,
gonna stay at
yeah,
7.33.
Mr.
Remember,
Manager,
we
that
have,
is
we have,
correct.
we have a shortfall of 182,000 that is coming from reserves right now. So anything you cut will reduce the amount of reserves, but the millage will stay the same.
How can you reduce the amount of reserves when you're not spending $2,000?
Mayor, I think what he's saying is that,
Instead of
No, because
182,
no, through the chair, if I might speak, through the chair, because I think the answer to that is exactly what we know is the fact that anything that is knocked off this is going to reduce what we have to pull out of reserve
Right.
and pay. William, am I correct on that?
that's correct.
Thank you, sir.
So it would reduce the money that we're taking out of the
the
fund.
reserves.
correct.
It would
Correct.
reduce, okay, all right. All right,
Thank
I
you.
got a first and a second. Do I have any further discussion? By the way, I support this, but any other discussion? Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Fahed,
Yes.
Councilman Best,
Aye.
Councilwoman Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda,
Yes,
Mayor Bain.
Yes. All right, what's number two?
Number two is the $14,000 for the river cities that we discussed will be paid on a reimbursement basis as paid invoices are submitted. There will not be a total upfront payment as in the past. River cities will submit paid invoices and proof of payment showing expenses for the 2021 festival before the city issues a reimbursement check.
Through the chair, if I can speak.
Go ahead.
I think this is unwarranted. I think that Tom demonstrated due diligence last year when he was called to task and took care of everything. To put something like this together, and those that have done it are well aware of this, that it takes seed money and front money to make this thing happen. At the end of the day, it's going to happen anyway. So why would you nickel and dime this guy to do this? That's my point.
I would like
All right,
to make a comment, Mayor, if I may.
I would like to have a motion.
Motion to move that we deny this.
All right, do I have a second?
I'll do second for discussion.
Go ahead. All right, go ahead, Councilman Mitchell.
I think, and I understand what you said, Councilman Best, and I agree. Tom and his staff, his team do an awesome job of putting together something that's enjoyed by the community, that has been a part of our community forever. I think what we're discussing about is something that we had not encountered before. When things don't go as they have normally every year, we've had some unusual situations, and when unusual situations come up, it's an opportunity to tinker and tweak things that aren't working quite well. And what we found here in this case was that we put the money out front. The festival didn't go on, and what we needed is just an expense account, because ultimately we're responsible to our taxpayers to show them where the money is going that we're spending. And there was just, I guess, complications or confusions in getting clarity as to what money had been spent, what money we were getting back. So all this is doing is facilitating in the future, should something like this happen. And I think that's incumbent upon us, now that we've had this experience, to try to iron out the wrinkles, that in the future, should this happen again, there is a clear method in place for us to have an accounting of what was spent, and that we can document that. And again, I think Tom and his staff do an excellent job. It's certainly not questioning him, and it's not nickel and diming him. It's just having proper accounting for our community, for our residents.
Through the
Anybody else?
chair, I'd like to respond to the councilwoman on that.
Okay.
He again, as I mentioned a moment ago, he demonstrated due diligence in these, in these times that are not normal, right? He did, and he took care of it. He took care of it in one fell swoop. All the guy's asking for is what we've done every year for the festival going forward. This is something new here. And I don't think we should do this to this guy. I really don't.
Anybody else?
Yeah, Mayor,
I'm sorry.
I'd like
Go
to
ahead,
say something. So then we're going from an upfront payment where the $14,000 were given to the river cities, and then now we're moving to, they have to submit paid invoices in order to get reimbursement. I just wonder if that's too much to ask them to front, the River Cities organization to front the payments and then get reimbursed. I don't know if there's an option. There may not be, but I don't know if there's an option for them to submit the invoices and then the vendors are paid. I'm not sure. I'm just spitballing here, but I don't know how it would affect their ability to put on the event if they're having to pay everything up front and then get reimbursed from us.
Jaime, anything?
Well, that's where I was kind of going with that. Being in that environment, I was part of the River Festival for about 3-4 years. I hear what Walter is saying. It's hard to do. Now, I think in the initial, what Tom put out to us as part of the budget, it says that if we cancel by a certain date, we get all the money back. So maybe that's a way of going, just to keep an eye on that date. And if we're going to cancel it, we should cancel it before that date. And that gives them an open, a way of doing what they need to do to get the festival going. Because if you're going to start putting a lot of restrictions, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do it that way. And what we run the risk is them walking away and then we have no festival.
All right, for a little bit of history. Number one, this situation came up because they didn't have a River Cities this year. But they still spent $10,000 of that money off of this budget, which the city council saw no. He paid back $4,100, $4,100. I'm approximating here. So in essence, this River Cities went off, and we still gave him $10,000 for the 2020 River Cities. This is why I proposed this a while back, that we're not going to give the money just a free check to him. We got to have some kind of controls. If he needs seed money, if he needs X amount of money for seed money to start, then he can go ahead and appropriate it from the city and then get the money. But the bottom line is, I lost battery. Wait, you guys there? Bottom line is, it can't go like this. I also have the thought of proposing, we got to remember one other thing. The River Cities was always an event that was nonprofit. As Tom Curtis took over it, this is a profit situation. It's not like before. And because I've expressed this to him personally, I express it now. Because it's nonprofit, because it is a profit situation, he can't get the monies from Rebecca and certain things that he used to be able to get from the county to allow him to put this event on. In essence, it's shouldered by the residents of this city, not the city council. It's the citizens that are fronting this $14,000. So I would say that we should do it where he puts it about on request. I would say that the motion that Councilman Best made should be, we want to vote on it, but it should be denied. And we should have another motion to go ahead and have him submit what he needs at the time that he needs it. Now, I don't know if I have enough votes, but that's my opinion.
I got you, sir. I got you.
Okay, so
through the chair, I'd like to respond to that.
go ahead.
I think that's unfair to the process of what he has with the city going forward and doing this function. You're gonna, at the end of the day, you're gonna pay it anyway. So why do this? No, hold on. Why do this up front to this guy? Why do that?
Well, look, the $10,000 is all these were spent for this year and didn't happen. I still don't know where that money went.
Mayor, he paid it back. He paid it back in full.
He spent money that was from the year before. That's according to what he said.
Never mind.
We did not do
an agreement that he paid everything back, sir? Are you in agreement?
He did not pay everything back.
What? William, will you respond to that?
Well, remember, he paid back 4,100. We gave him 14,000. There was about $9,900 in expenses that we actually paid.
Well, we
So
asked him to pay back, he paid back.
The
penny.
4,100, correct.
To the penny. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, well, we
My motion
negotiate.
stands. My motion
Okay.
stands, Mayor.
Okay, call the vote.
Erica, you're muted, but can you repeat the motion just so
Yes.
clear since it was made in the negative?
Yes, Councilman Best stated not to approve River
The
City
denial.
submitting, River City submitting paid invoices for reimbursement.
No.
In other
Hold on. Whoa. I'd like to
Not
respond.
not to approve the reimbursement basis, but continue giving them the money upfront as we've done
To
in
give him
past
the
years.
money up front, and he accounts for it after the
Mayor,
festival.
before we take the vote, may I have some more discussion, please?
Sure, this is open. This is open for discussion, yes.
Okay. I just want to make some comments. I have no problem with it being for profit now. Our restaurants are for profit, a lot of things in, the community. We can't expect everything to be volunteer, and especially something of that nature that's that large. So that's not my concern that it's for profit, because it takes a lot to get it together. But I do think that we owe our citizens accountability of when we give money for an event, where that money goes and how it's spent. And if the event doesn't take place, that we can just account for how the money was dispersed. So I would like to suggest with Councilman Best, perhaps, of modifying this so that all we're asking of Tom, what we would be asking of Tom going forward would be that, and I think we've kind of talked about this right now in the discussion, is that if he has a bill to pay ahead of time, he shouldn't have to be fronting all this money ahead of time. I think that would be a difficulty on anyone, but that you can submit it to the city, and the city pays it or disperses a certain amount or percentage of it, something like that, so that there's some sort of accountability. And it's not just, at the very end, we're asking for how it was spent. Can we modify, or would you be willing, Councilman Best, to modify this to allow for that kind of a communication with the city before money is spent, and that we disperse it as he needs it?
I think that's kind of done already in a way.
No, we're giving all the money up front.
Mayor, I get it. The money up front,
But I think, Mayor, if you don't mind, you
Mayor,
had
I'm
mentioned
ahead.
something.
I'm not sure.
Go ahead.
Mayor, you had mentioned, I think we've talked about all the aspects that might make this work. You had mentioned some seed money up front to not put the pressure on the river cities to have to front all of this. And then I think a system where they submit invoices in the spirit of the accounting, like Councilman Mitchell is saying, I think that we can kind of do both. We'll provide a little bit of seed money so that they don't have that tremendous burden of having to front everything. But then have them submit invoices to us so that we can disperse the money. And then I feel like we get the accounting and we also don't, burden them in putting on the event. I think that would be a motion that kind of placates all parties involved.
Through the chair, Councilman Fichet, that's already done. Period.
Well,
Already done.
okay.
Already done.
Look.
Hey, Mayor, you got a motion and a second.
I know, but I would like to finish my discussion and then we'll go ahead. The premise that a restaurant and other places are for profit is one thing, but a place that's asking for money from the city government is another. You can't compare a restaurant making profit to this situation when we're not subsidizing restaurants or any business in this community. This is a subsidization for him to get started or whatever he may do. In my opinion, after finding out for the first time this year that we don't have any control over how he's spending it or when he's spending it, I went ahead and submitted this. Now, if you feel my proposal's too strong and you want to go with Mr. Walter there, I have trouble saying your last name, but Farhad. If you want to go with the fact that if you want to give him $5,000 up front to start, and then go ahead and the rest of the 4,000 up front, and then the 10 is on request, I'll negotiate and work for that. But I will not vote for something to give him the carte blanche on the 14,000. So Bobby's motion, as far as I'm concerned, is a no. So I'll call a vote on Councilman Best's motion.
Wait.
Mayor, that's your vote. That's your vote. Call the vote.
Okay.
I have something to say. William, in the past, when has Tom asked for the money?
Usually between December or January.
Okay, well, I'm reading, I have it here on his, on the packet that he put out for us. It says here.
Read it, Jamie.
that- Well, let's talk about it. It says here that if we give it the money and we cancel before February 1st, we'll get all the money back.
Correct.
So why are you going to tie him up that way? You can give him the money whenever he asks for it, as long as he get, if we cancel it before February 1st, we'll get it all back.
Councilman Petrolanda, I just want to remind you the COVID pandemic and the issues with it didn't occur until mid-March.
Right.
So
Well,
it was.
No, Councilwoman.
That's a decision that we will have to make.
That was
on
when we
February
started
1st.
closing down things. So, that's, something can come on very quickly. And we're talking in February, April, it's 2 months
month.
away.
Yes, well, then make the decision before February 1st.
We got a
and get
motion
all your
on the
money
table.
back if you want to get all your money
I'm
back.
not sure what
We
the
got a
motion
motion.
is
Let's
to
call the
vote
vote.
on. Could somebody
I'm gonna-
clarify
I
what a
will-
yes or no means?
Yes, Councilwoman Mitchell, I'll be happy to clarify. To grant Tom what we've always done in terms of giving him, and now all of a sudden it's changed. There's a change up here. Let the guy go. He's raised his hand. He's doing a great thing for the city, and he's already demonstrated that he's not going to walk. So my motion stands, Mayor.
All right, Heidi, give them the yes or no what it means, so they're comfortable voting.
The motion that I have, Mayor, is on the table, all for your consideration, is to continue issuing payments to Tom Curtis for the River Cities Festival up front. That's the
Okay.
motion that I have.
Correct.
All right.
With
I
a
got
condition.
No condition.
That's
There's
the
no
motion
condition,
that's-
Heidi.
There's no
Councilman,
condition.
we're betting
Like we've
on,
always,
we're
done it.
voting
Like
on
we've
this
always
now.
done it.
Okay, well, not a condition, but I'm reading what he wrote, that if by February 1st, we cancel, we get all the money back.
Councilman Petrolanda, let me just clarify. He did say, if you read the letter, he says he will return it by February 1st after deducting direct expenses.
Right, and what is that?
That could be 12,000, 13, who knows?
Well, that's something I guess we need to clarify.
No, we don't. All we need to do right now
Have
is
we
vote
ever had to
on the
before?
motion.
Have we ever
And
had
I'm gonna
to
try,
before?
okay, I'm gonna close discussion and call
you,
the
sir.
vote.
Thank you, Mayor.
Call the vote, Erica.
Vice Mayor Fahet,
No.
Councilman Best,
Aye.
Councilwoman Mitchell,
No,
Councilman Petrolanda,
Yes,
Mayor Bain.
No.
The motion fails.
Okay. If
Thank you for the discussion.
Mayor, can I propose then an
No, you
alternative?
can't propose. You got to make a motion.
Right, as I'm
Make a motion.
gonna propose the motion.
Make your motion.
Okay, so I move,
Okay.
I move that we put, we give $5,000 of seed money up front to the river cities so that they don't have that burden. And then they submit invoices in order to get payments thereafter.
Do I have a second?
You have a second, sir.
and I'd like just a discussion of perhaps a modification on Councilman Fahet's is not that they necessarily have to submit payment, because again, that might be a difficulty for them, but to submit an invoice, a bill, so that, and then the city can release the money. If we know that he's got a bill for $6,000, we can release the money for that. But I think that's something that is responsible measure on behalf of our citizens for any business transaction that we're doing.
My
Just-
second goes along with that.
And one question for Vice Mayor Fayette. We would also request that there would be at some point invoices submitted for the seed money also, correct?
Of course.
Well, William, they always do that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You got it, Mayor.
Mayor,
Okay.
just
I think
to,
Heidi had something.
so tonight, all we're really doing is putting this as a line item in the budget. And I think based on
Right.
what we're hearing from council, we can make it clear what we're gonna require from Tom for the, whether the council decides we want to do $5,000 up front and then a reimbursement basis afterwards. I think we can have something very simple in writing with him to clarify so that we don't run into these issues in the future. And we can protect the city and
Of course.
do all of that.
Yeah, but right now, we're setting the standard so you can write it.
Yeah,
Right.
but we can bring back. if
Okay,
you'd
we're
like,
setting
we
the
can
standard
bring
so you
back-
can write it. I'm in a position to cut all the money, but I'm going to negotiate what the best interest of the situation is. We've discussed it and to come up with something that cuts in the middle, as far as I'm concerned, and we're voting on it. So the motion is that we'll front him the $5,000, but he has to show evidence of what it's paid for. And then as he needs money down the road, he submits his invoices to the city to get paid. Is this what your motion is?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, it is. And my second as
Okay.
well.
And you got a second. And so that's it. We'll vote on it. Is that okay with you, Heidi, the way this has been stated? Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Fahet,
Yes.
Councilman Best,
Aye.
Councilwoman Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. Okay, what's number 3?
Okay, the next item is the $2,000 for the doggy bags. Are we okay to go with that?
We
Yeah,
just
Mark.
saved that money on the League of Cities, so I put it up, if we need a motion, I'll make a motion that we do that.
I'll be
Yes,
happy
we
to
do.
second that.
And is there any other this is from the Lions Club?
Rotary.
From the Rotary.
Rotary. Yeah.
Rotary Club.
Yep.
And the reason why they're asking for this is because of the COVID, they can't raise money, fundraise.
That's correct.
Is there any stipulation that they might help down the road to reimburse this money to the resident?
We haven't made that stipulation to them. That's
I
not
don't
what they
think there,
requested.
no, I think the manager's correct. There was no stipulation.
I got a motion. I got a first and a second. Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Fahet,
Yes.
Councilman Best,
Aye.
Councilwoman Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. We go on to number 4.
Number 4, Mayor, is the $25,000 for the tree planting.
Okay.
Does council want to keep it in tree planting or move it to tree trimming or put it back in reserves?
I would like to make a motion that we keep it in new tree planting.
I second that.
Right, before we
I'd
get.
like to, any discussion? Any
I think
discussion?
Tom had something.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
before
did.
we
He
get too
did.
far into this, I just want for clarification. When we started this whole process with the discussion of the $25,000, I offered it up to augment the seniors when we were having issues with the meals for the seniors, and we didn't have the other resources that were coming in. It wasn't meant to go as far as it has gone here. My sole intent for offering up that money initially was for the senior meal program. But as we know now, I guess that program was funded or alternate funding had come in. So since that has been addressed, we can leave the money for the street tree planting. My intent wasn't to give the money away willy-nilly. It was to augment the seniors. I would rather see the seniors eat than trees go in.
And
Thank you.
Tom,
Yeah.
if I may.
Is there any,
Mayor.
wait, can I say something? That $25,000 with some of the things that might have been discussed about the drainage over there on East Drive, could that be used for, could that be anything to help that over there with what you want to do for East
I
Drive?
think it's a different animal.
To help the people
Yeah,
on the
no.
east side?
No,
Not that
that's
20
something, no, that's not even gonna be a hair on a head to help that situation right now.
Like the hair on your head?
That's why it's short. Can't pull it.
Mayor, I had a question for Tom. Tom, correct me if I'm wrong. My understanding is that we take part in a tree matching grant, and we got about 22,500 last year. That money would need to be spent this year in order to get the match in that grant, correct?
Well, the money that was for this year's planting has already been utilized. We're waiting for the reimbursement now. I've already finished all the paperwork. The monies that we're discussing now, they've already opened the door for us to reapply for another grant.
The next round.
So we wouldn't be eligible unless we had that money to spend for this coming year.
Right. Well, it would be a matching grant. So whatever we would want to put towards it, is what they would offer up. Yes.
So
Maria, did you make a motion?
Yes.
She did, and I seconded.
And just before we pass it, I just wanted to thank Tom for, I know that your heart is always in planting trees and that you were just trying to help us figure out how to balance the budget this year. So I know that that you're offering this up was a difficult thing for you to do, but it was just a possibility.
Correct.
Councilwoman, you got a second.
Okay. Now the 25,000, that could be also go possibly for the matching grant?
Yeah, we're gonna present it and then we'll see what they offer.
Okay. I got a first and second, call the vote.
Vice Mayor Fahet,
Yes.
Councilman Best,
Aye.
Councilwoman Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Petralanda,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes, and is there any other ones that we had to discuss?
One
Yes,
more.
Mayor, the final one is Councilman Best's request to look at the $45,000 for the city lobbyist.
Okay, we
Mayor,
have Jose.
Can I
No, wait
speak
a
to
second.
that?
Just one second. Before you speak, does council want to hear from Jose Beckerkoff first, or we want to discuss this first?
I'd like to hear from Jose first.
I'd like to hear from Jose first too.
Go ahead.
Since it's okay. Is Jose still on the line?
I am here. Good evening, Mayor.
Good evening.
Congratulations, Vice Mayor Fayette and council members. I just wanted to do a brief presentation. I think Tom Nash actually helped me in my presentation. One of the things that we do as your lobbyists is bring much needed funds. And a good example is the seniors program. Of the many funds that were cut in this appropriation cycle due to COVID, which were many, Miami Springs survived the cut. And one of those was the senior program, which was $189,944. And thanks to that money, you actually now are allowed to do tree planting because obviously Tom was looking at the budget and making sure that this program would not be impacted. Becker Polikoff, over the time that we've represented you, has brought in almost 1.6 million. And in total was 3.6 million in funding. This year was a difficult year. We don't usually have a year like this. I think everyone would agree. And, we are always, been proud and continue to be proud of representing Miami Springs. And we look forward to continuing to represent Miami Springs, especially in this future difficult climate. Alex Alamo is with me on this virtual call, I guess. And one of the things that we're seeing is the difficulty that we're going to have in meeting with members this year. We've initiated a plan. The legislature has initiated a plan. It's very complex. Alex and I will be driving, trying to avoid flying to Tallahassee, but we will be there for session and for committee weeks, which is where, basically everything that happens. This year we had $800,000, which we try to bring in. And obviously that was not successful, but I will tell you that when you look at your budget and you look at, for example, the success that we had in bringing $850,000 for your senior center, that's a big deal. And I always look forward to working with the manager and with Public Works. This year, again, Tom, I apologize if I call you Tom, I'll say Mr. Nash, worked this year trying to get $800,000 that would have been for the east side. I heard a lot of calls and a lot of folks concerned. And I think that, the callers and the viewers should know that the city council and the mayor and the manager look at the city holistically, all of the city. One of the big concerns Mr. Nash has had is on the west side drainage. We almost got there. I think if it wasn't for COVID, in fact, I guarantee if it wasn't for COVID, we would have had that money. Senator Diaz and Representative Avila worked diligently, hard to get this money. I think until the 11th or 11:59 hour, they were thinking that we could get the money. But obviously the COVID situation just got drastically worse. So I look forward again to continuing to work. I know you have to consider this in the budget, but one of the things that we offer you is we help you bring money to the city so you don't have these situations. I don't know if you have any questions, but I'm more than happy to entertain those questions.
No, I don't have any questions, Jose. I just like to speak to my colleagues.
All right, does anybody have any questions? Okay.
I had a question, Mayor, I had a question about whether I get the way this is worded, it said like it's a binary decision. I think we all understand there's a return on investment for a lobbyist, having a lobbyist. I'm not sure based on the wording, what we were proposing to do, whether it was do away with the 45,000 that are budgeted or
Yes,
consider
it
revising
was,
that.
Vice Mayor.
Well,
Vice Mayor, it was.
I think let Councilman Best state what his proposal is, and then we'll
Yes,
vote
it
on
was.
it.
Well, do I have the floor, Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Look at $45,000 is a lot of money. And I'm not disagreeing with Jose and Becker Polikoff. I'm not disagreeing over the years what they've done. But lately, I mean, we all go up there to Tallahassee and we engage these folks too. We don't live up there, but we go up there and we talk to them. Is that not what we're elected to do? What are we doing spending $45,000 to get nothing? And this year going forward, please.
Okay.
I'll leave it there, sir.
Okay. Any other comments? Okay,
Yeah,
then
I think it's a
Comment,
mischaracterization to say we're getting nothing for the 45,000. I mean, again, everything could be negotiated and we would need more facts and information. But if it's a binary decision,
Well, then, I guess what we'll need right now is a motion to allow to keep this in the budget, okay?
Motion to disallow, sir.
Do I have a second?
Second for discussion.
Well, what do you got to discuss?
I think Mitchell has something to say.
Yes,
Oh,
I would like to say, and I agree with you, Councilman Best, 45,000 is a huge amount of money. And to tell you the truth, when I first got elected, I would cringe at the thought that as elected officials, we have to pay a lobbyist to lobby elected officials in Tallahassee for us. But I've realized that's exactly what needs to happen because none of us are monitoring what's happening in Tallahassee and can propose these things. And what we have gained from having these lobbyists, from having Jose and his team, Becker Polikoff, I want to remind everyone last year, and these are issues that were just brought to our attention right now by our residents on the east side of Miami Springs, which I agree with you, you don't get the attention that for years and years and years, you need more attention. We need to put more attention into that area to beautify that area of Miami Springs. But I want to remind everyone that last year, in 2019, we had appropriations with the assistance of Becker Polikoff, our lobbyist. We had appropriations approved to build the South Royal Poinciana bike path and median all the way from East Drive to Office Depot up to Lejeune. And that went through the House and the Senate. It was approved by both, and then it was vetoed at the last moment by the new governor. But it went really, really far, and it wouldn't have been there if we don't have someone in Tallahassee bringing the appropriations that we submit up to the front, putting them to the top. There's way too many appropriations sent in from all counties and all municipalities in Florida, and they're all merit funding, but there's not enough funding. There's not enough money in the pie to go around. So if it's important to our municipality, and as elected officials, we're elected to do the best for our municipality. It's important for that to be always at the forefront, and that's what the lobbyists do for us. They monitor it, they keep us informed. Yes, Councilman Best, we went up there to Tallahassee last year, you and Councilman Petrolanda and I, several times, but it was facilitated because once we left, those appropriations that we discussed kept coming to the forefront with our lobbyists. And I would like to mention that this past year in 2020, East Drive, improvements all along East Drive were approved. And we were going to get that money to make these improvements. Again, what the residents are complaining about the east side of Miami Springs. Unfortunately, the pandemic hit and we're not getting that money. And the other big thing that the lobbyists have really helped us with this past year was this the hotel taxes. We got really, really close. We were on the House and Senate bills at 11 o'clock at night. And that was the last issue being discussed. And it was discussed for a long, long time of us getting some funding for our police who are always responding to calls at the hotels on 36th Street. And the taxpayers in Miami Springs are funding the safety of the hotels, which is totally unfair. We should get a cut of those hotel taxes. So those are three important issues that there's none of us that can keep track of that in Tallahassee if we don't have lobbyists there working for us.
Well, through the chair, I'd like to respond to the councilwoman on that. We are capable as elected officials, Maria, of going up there and doing exactly the same thing that they're lobbying for us to do. Exactly. And we've done it for years, not just the last couple or three. For years, we've done it. And my point is this. The majority of the time, we would have got all of this anyway. That's my point.
Okay, I could just say, without Jose and his firm, the contacts that have been made the last 6 months for me would have never occurred. Me trying to call into the governor's office or to Rick Scott or to Marco Rubio. It wouldn't have been, the contacts wouldn't have been there if I didn't have Jose get me to the contacts to get to them people. And because they don't have the time or to listen to get, for me to get a hold of them without Jose being the middleman for me to get to talk to these people. I mean, people don't know what I do on the side. That's beside the point. But without Jose to make me have these contacts, it wouldn't happen. So I understand, and as time has gone on, I believe they've gotten better for us since I've been the mayor of helping us getting at least in the door. We go back to the bed tax money. As far as the proposal goes, it didn't happen the way I proposed to Avilar at the meeting I had with him and Commissioner Sosa a year ago. They didn't propose it the way I proposed it. After I sent my proposal to some of these people, they would accept my proposal. Maybe this time around it'll be better. But I think we need this lobbyist firm to help us be the middleman and the pusher up there in Tallahassee, where we don't have the opportunity to go up there every weekend or for a month or for whatever we have to do. So the motion basically stands not to have the lobbyist firm. So
based on what I'm hearing, I see this isn't going anywhere, so I'll withdraw my motion, Mayor.
All right, so we still would need a motion to approve this in the budget. So I entertain a motion to approve the lobbyist firm.
Motion to approve the lobbyist for this
I'll second
coming
it.
budget.
Okay, any further discussion? Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Fahet,
Yes.
Councilman Best,
Nay.
Councilwoman Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. Okay, now it's the budget goes here. Them are the
All right.
four items. Go ahead.
Heidi, we do it one at a time, right?
Yeah, we did all four, Willie, I think.
No, I'm talking about the resolutions, the two resolutions. We'll do them one at a
Oh.
time, Heidi.
Alrighty.
We should do one at a time, millage
Yep.
first, then budget.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're right.
All right. This is a resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of Miami Springs, Florida, adopting the proposed millage rate for fiscal year 2021 in the amount of 7.3300 mils, which is 5.35% higher than the rollback rate of 6.9575 mils. the balance of the general fund for fiscal year 2021 and providing for an effective date.
And Mayor, if I would just suggest that the clerk read the instructions again, just to make sure that anyone who wishes to speak on the budget or millage has an opportunity to do so before we vote.
But I already opened it up for that.
I know.
Yes, you did. Yes, he did.
Well, state it that it's been opened up and you're just going to reaffirm that people can talk.
I said
Don't
to
make
do-
it seem like it wasn't, don't make it seem like it wasn't opened up because it
No,
was.
Mayor, you did. You did.
Adjusting
You
it
did
up.
that. You did
All
that.
right. Is anybody on the line there, Erica?
Yes, anybody who would like to speak, please dial *9 if you're calling by phone to raise your hand. If you are attending by the Zoom app, please use the raise hand function.
I can't find the raise hand function. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
So my name is Diana. I live on Forest Drive. Let me tell you that I have always admired and loved the Springs. I moved here because it was a small town within the large city. Mom and pop shops. Halloween here is amazing. The city, river festivals, the car shows, etc. I do not mind paying the taxes. I really don't. But in all honesty, we're not seeing where our money goes. I know this is like a broken record to you all. I am so sorry, but it really is sad. It's sad because, I mean, we work hard for this money. And I mean, there's talk. I mean, if there's a possibility that if you guys don't want to take care of us, I mean, can we separate from you? Can we make the east side? Can we give all these homes that pay taxes to Hialeah or whoever, the unincorporated Dade? I'm sure they're willing to take our thousands of dollars and maybe we'll still see the same amount of attention that you guys give us. It really is sad. I know it's a process. I know that it's not going to happen from one day to another, but I do want to hear about the talk of Forest Drive and East Side being tended to. We need to get on that budget. We need speed bumps to control the speeding here of people crossing through to get to wherever it is they're getting to. And we need to focus about the drainage system. It's not fair. I had water coming into my house this Saturday again. And if I showed you the pictures of the big flooding that happened a couple months ago, you would be appalled. You would be appalled at our street. You know what the sad part was? That when I called Public Works for them to come put barricades down the street because people were cutting through, and so then they make like a wake with their cars, those waves made water come into my house even more. Guess what? Public Works said, yes, ma'am, you're not the only street that's flooded. We'll get to you. Guess what? 2 days later, not one barricade down the street for us. That was sad, embarrassing for you guys. I don't see my money. And it's just, we need to do something about it. I know I'm not here to fight, but then again, I'm willing to fight for what I paid for and for what I believe in. And I mean, I'm pretty sure we could do this amicably, but there has to be a better way. And like that gentleman just spoke about drainage system on the west side, I really hope that was a wrong word he said, because why is the west side getting attention and not us?
He meant east side.
I hope,
East side.
okay, I hope he meant east side, good, because
Yeah,
that was like a low blow, like I
Yes,
almost threw
no.
up. It hurt. It's beautiful. I get the $2,000 for the doggy bags. Well, I have dogs shitting in my front yard all day and all
Hey,
night.
please.
Like, I'm sorry, but like, you know,
Rather
like, I
colorful.
have little doggy bags here. I buy my own doggy bags. I get it. You guys want to allocate money and make it beautiful. I mean, we didn't even have a fireworks display this year. Where's that money at? I mean, come on. Let's just please find it in your hearts to allocate some money to us over here, the little people who are fighting hotels from the left, from the right. And then on top of that, we're also drowning. And then we're gonna get hit by a car as well. So, I mean, who knows what the future is gonna bring. I know 2020 sucks. And anyways, I hope you all stay safe and thank you for your time.
Anybody else?
Yes, I would like to speak, please.
Go ahead. Your name,
Yes,
please.
hello.
Your-
Thank you, everybody, for having me.
Your name, please. We got to
My
have
name is
your name,
Pablo
please.
Guerra, and I live at 564 Miller Drive.
Okay.
I used to live a block away from you, Mr. Bain, Mayor. Now I live at 564 Miller. Sorry for coming in a little late, and I know some of the things have been spoken about, but I was listening to Diana speak right now, and I believe we live in a very similar, close proximity to each other. Thank you for having me here, Mr. Mayor and all council members. But I have several concerns. I've been living here at 564 Miller for the past 6 years. And I've spoken to all my neighbors about how things have actually changed. And I'm going to speak about a few things that I've been seeing that I think we've had paid either poor attention to, or there's some sort of neglect to the things that I want to speak. First and foremost, the issue of the hotels. Gentlemen, ladies, I am not kidding when I'm saying I've seen oral sex. I've seen gentlemen with their pants down urinating in the middle of the street. I've seen prostitutes walking behind all the alleys like I've never seen before. What it's looking like to me is what happened to Biscayne Boulevard back in the early 80s. You had a thriving part of the city, and all of a sudden it got neglected for so many years, where the prostitutes and the drug dealers took over. That's exactly what's happening right now on 36th Street. We want the tourists to come back, and the tourists are starting to come back, and they're going back to the hotels that they're used to coming to on 36th Street. And what we're finding is these people are not going to come back because they are sitting right next to homeless people. They're sitting next to drug dealers. I've seen drug deals go down right in front of me with my son right next to me at the Valero gas station. It's out of control. The resources are being exhausted between the police department and the fire department. Okay, these people, I know they got here. I can't tell you the logistics of how they got here because I'm not informed as well. But what I am seeing a block away from my home, a block away from AIE middle school, high school, a block away from the middle school, which school is about to start, hopefully, okay, is insane, okay? You could see basically drug wrappers all around the street. If you haven't gone by there, you guys should take a visit to that area. It is insane what's happening there, okay? It's just a matter of time. It's a ticking time bomb before somebody's gonna get raped, somebody's gonna get mugged, something's gonna happen. You could see it, you could smell it, it's changed. Ask all the business people in the area and you're going to find out what's happening. Okay. I don't know what's going to get done, but I hope what I'm saying is not going to go into deaf ears. There's something also that I heard somebody speak about was the flooding. Back in June, we had that flood where everybody got flooded, and okay, that's fine. But I started getting a lot of talk that made no sense to me coming from Public Works. It wasn't from Mr. Nash. It was basically from the workers coming in. On 3 occasions, I had the guy coming in to pump out the station. The drainage is literally 20 feet away from my house. I've been living there 6 years. I have people that lived there 16 years, okay? And the answer to that was quite simple. Oh, that doesn't lead out to the river. Oh, the tide was high. No, at the time of all that rain, the time was low, okay? I'm a fisherman. Trust me, you become a weather person at all times if you have boats, okay? Constantly monitoring everything. He said it doesn't go out, yet we have fish in the drainage system, okay? So what is it? I had water. I had like 3 feet of water inside my whole garage. All my neighbors had water in the garage. We even chipped in between all of us to buy a pump, a $500 pump that we had to use because the city came 3 times and not one time did they open the drainage and at least attempt to unplug the drainage. Not once. And the guy came in and said to me, listen, I'm going to be back. I have to go save my other partner who's stuck somewhere. The guy never came back. That drainage has not been cleaned in the past 6 to 7 months, even though everybody's called for it to be cleaned. Okay. Now this last week, 2 days ago, we got flooded again. Okay. We got flooded again. And once again, here I am pumping out water for a drainage that for one reason or another, and I don't know what the excuse is this time, okay, somebody refuses to at least attempt to pump the thing. Okay, I'm getting a little tired. I asked all my neighbors, I said, I've been living here 16 years and it's never flooded. All of a sudden, we keep getting flooded and nobody is trying to at least unplug the thing. I don't know if it's collapsed. I don't know, but nobody gives me straight answers. Okay, I'm getting tired of my garage getting full of water and nothing happens. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was basically in the corner of our house. If for one reason or another, I feel like our neighborhood, our part of the neighborhood is being neglected. We have that airport diner thing. It was there, it was for sale. They started tearing it apart. Now it's abandoned. There's nothing going on there. Okay, perfect spot for the drug dealers, perfect spot for all these people that are coming into the city that for one reason or another, seems like more and more are finding refuge in our city, are actually hanging out. Okay, I don't know if we could find a better solution, maybe putting, a tent city next to that open space right behind the high school might be a better thing. But, you guys are putting all these beautiful things, bike paths. We're making, we're making all these beautiful attempts to beautify our city, nice signage. All that is for nothing if we have all this crap going on 36th Street. Because the first line of entry to most people into our city is through 36th Street. Okay, so I don't know what else, and I hope this doesn't go into a deaf ear. I see the police department constantly out there. I mean, that's a lot of resources right there. Okay, and I see the fire department constantly out there. Yet I don't see an attempt to get rid of the situation. So thank you for listening to me. I hope, once again, it doesn't go to deaf ears. And if somebody could do something about at least showing me the effort of vacuuming that drainage, it's going to help a lot. I'm tired of walking on water. Thank you.
Erica, did we lose the mayor?
Yes, I was just about to before the gentleman. We lost the mayor, his iPad battery died. So if we could just pause the meeting for just a few moments till I get him back on.
Okay.
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 The last caller and the other callers.
I don't know. Ray, I'm not sure. I'm not sure we can speak to them. It's like open forum kind of thing.
Just saying thank you, Bob.
Gotcha. It looks like Councilman Petrolanda is frozen. Oh no, he just moved.
No, I was writing something,
Got you covered.
looking down, writing something,
Yeah,
waiting
yeah,
on the mayor.
yeah.
Don't we have a vice mayor?
We do. It's Mr. Fischette.
A het.
A het.
A het.
A het.
I always, Walt, I always thought it's French, right?
No, I'm Cuban. It's the J is pronounced like an H, like in fajitas. Fajet.
Okay. To me, it sounded French. I'm half French, so.
I'm no longer the council member with the weirdest last name. Thank
There you
you,
go.
Walter, for coming in.
There you go.
Well, but they can pronounce yours. They can't waltz. What's Billy doing here? It's not what Billy's
He'll
doing.
be-
It's
He'll
what
be calling
Grace is.
in.
It's what Grace is doing, not Billy.
You said Billy or Willie?
Billy.
Oh, I thought you said Willie.
No, Willie's with us, man. He's been here the whole time. Erica, by the way, while we're waiting, thanks for taking care of that for me today.
Oh, you're welcome.
So let me ask a question here, a fair one. What happens if he doesn't come back on? What do we do?
We have a vice mayor.
Vice Mayor takes over.
We do. He can make the call. We can call the motions, pass the budget, and go home for the evening.
You can swear me in on Air Force One.
No,
Bob,
that's
you are home.
Walt, I think that's a little higher than our level, sir.
I know.
It appears there's discussions going on.
Eric is working
Yeah,
feverishly
yeah,
to
yeah.
get him back on.
Yeah. This would be unprecedented if he can't come, if he doesn't come back on.
He lives close to you, doesn't he, Bob?
Yeah, he's
Maybe you
about
can-
four or five blocks from me. Yeah.
Maybe he can run over there and you can share the screen.
He's real close to the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah, Bob's out of the
Hey.
state.
Hey, Willie. It'd be a
Yeah.
cold day in hell before I do that. Don't tell him I said that. Erica, what's he doing? She's muted. Somebody's weighing in here.
Yeah, I think that's the mayor.
I would
Okay.
gather.
I'm back.
You back? Are you back?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'm back.
Very good. Call the motion, will you?
Where are we at?
The resolution
here.
approving the millage.
We just had a
Okay,
gentleman
that's-
speak on public hearing, sir. Mr. Guerra, he was,
Okay.
Correct.
All right,
Correct.
so we're doing 8A right now, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion
I'll move to
sir.
adopt the proposed millage rate for fiscal year 2020, 2021.
Second.
Do I have a second?
Walt, I think I already did that.
Okay.
Okay, are we okay, Heidi, to vote?
Yep.
Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Fahet,
Yes.
Councilman Best,
Aye.
Councilwoman Mitchell,
You're muted, Maria.
Oh,
there we go.
okay.
Yeah, I heard you.
Okay.
Yes.
Councilman Petralanda,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes, we go to 8B.
AP, this is a resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of Miami Springs, Florida, adopting a tentative budget for the fiscal year commencing October 1st, 2020 and ending September 30th, 2021, confirming date of second public hearing and providing for an effective date.
Motion to move,
Okay,
sir.
entertain a motion.
I'll
Second.
second it.
I think Maria had the second.
I think she did.
Call the vote. Call the
Vice
vote.
Mayor Behet,
Yes.
Councilman Best,
Aye.
Councilwoman Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. We go on to consent agenda, which there aren't any. 10, old business, none. 11, new business. 11A, a resolution.
This is a
This is-
resolution of the,
You want me to read it?
yeah, go ahead.
This is a resolution of Mayor and City Council of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, approving an agreement with First Vehicle Services, Inc. for fleet management and maintenance services, utilizing the terms and conditions of the City of Sunrise contract pursuant to Section 3111E5 of the City Code, providing for authorization and providing for an effective date.
Through the chair, this has been an effective program for many years in this town, and I would like to make a motion that we move.
Second that.
Second
Do I
it.
have a second?
Yes.
Any further discussion?
I just wanted to ask, the city manager, which fleet vehicles are not included in this? Is it just the police vehicles?
No, this is, and Tom can address that, but they do all of our city vehicles, police, public works,
Everything.
everything.
Okay, so everything's included. All right, thank you.
Correct. Good question, Maria.
Any further discussion? Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Behet,
Yes.
Councilman Best,
Aye.
Councilwoman Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes, we go on to 11B, a resolution.
This is a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, adopting the Miami-Dade County Local Mitigation Strategy 2020, providing for implementation, providing for an effective date. Basically, is something that the county is requiring municipalities to approve in order for us to be able to access some of the FEMA money that's going to be coming down for mitigation efforts. And hopefully some of these stormwater projects that we need in the city can be funded through these mitigation funds that are coming down.
Through the chair, I'd like to speak on this. I read the thing 3 times. I don't understand it, but I understand William's watered down version of it, and it makes a hell of a lot more sense to me than what I read. And I'm gonna make a motion to move it.
And I would just like to mention that the stormwater projects that you were talking about, William, are some of the improvements for East Drive and that whole east area of Miami Springs that, again, we're trying to get money. You know, we've been working for several years trying to get money to improve that area.
Good point.
Any further discussion? Call the vote.
I'm sorry, who seconded the motion? Councilwoman?
I'll second it.
Okay. Vice Mayor Behet,
Yes.
Councilman Best,
Aye.
Councilwoman Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes, we go to 11C, a resolution.
Okay, this is a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, approving a theatrical services agreement with Pelican Playhouse, Inc., providing for authorization, providing for implementation, and providing for an effective date. Omar is here. If you have any specific questions. I think one of the changes, Omar, was the renewal terms.
That's right, Mr. Manager. We made it such that we can renew this agreement for up to 5 years as opposed to bringing it back every year. Otherwise, all of the terms remain the same.
So the mayor, if I may, or do we have to pass a motion to discuss this first, or can we ask the questions now?
Yes.
Well, I always like to see a motion. I mean, by proper procedure, should be a motion and a second in discussion.
I have, well, and I'm not sure if I should do that now, but I do have possibly a change to a motion to approve with some change. But I guess we should discuss it first. Or I have some questions first for Omar.
Go ahead, ask the questions.
Okay. Well, something that Heidi just mentioned, this isn't my question, but you were saying that the change in the contract would be renew it every 5 years.
No, it would be renewable on a yearly basis for up to 5 years.
Up to 5 years. Okay, all right. I hadn't heard that before. My question is this, on section 6, item D, it says that the city, in addition to what we're paying, and I want to stress, I guess I should say this from the beginning, I have the utmost respect for Ralph and Nancy Wakefield and the Pelican Playhouse Productions that they do for our city for so many years. My youngest daughter was part of Pelican Playhouse for years. I know Councilman Best has been there, and just almost every family in Miami Springs has had some member of their family participate in that, and they do a fantastic job. So I think they provide a great service, and our city is greatly benefits from it. I have a question regarding section 6D. When we disperse a balance of $5,000 for repairs for equipment, my first question is it seems like on the page before on 5E, it says that the city will maintain and conduct repairs for any equipment. So I'm not sure if the city's responsible for repairing any equipment, the lighting and everything else, why we're paying $5,000 for repairs for equipment.
I think that section, and Omar, correct me, I think that section refers to city-owned equipment.
Correct.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
What would be city-owned equipment as different from the repairs to the other equipment? I'm not sure.
Basically, it could fall into the window of repainting the theater, chairs, staging pieces, waxing the floor, things like that. Those type of minor repairs. Retouching up painting is most of the things that we do. The chairs get damaged a lot, not only because they're used by our kids with camp and the theater. So things like that. His $5,000 is more for the lighting, technical issues, speakers,
microphones,
microphones.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Thank you for explaining that. And then the other, what I would like to, I guess, pass the motion, but with one item changed is again, on section CD, where we, my understanding is we provide $5,000 for equipment repairs. And if that doesn't get used by the end of the year, the provider keeps the difference. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, I would like to change that. I think any money that we're providing, taxpayer money for equipment repairs, if it's not used, it should come back to the city.
Through the chair, I'd like to speak to Councilwoman Mitchell on that. This has come up before over the last 3 or 4 years, quite frankly. And typically, he's always gone to that level where everything has been expended. I mean, there's very few times has there been anything left over ever. And I think he can
I believe this past year there was $900 left over. And I have no problem with it being spent. But I think when I asked the question during the budget workshop, I was told that there was $900 left over from the 5,000. Is that correct, Omar?
It's like about $1,036, something like that. So
okay,
yeah,
so about $1,000 out of the 5,000. I think that is just reasonable to, and again, I have no problems giving the money for, I think the world of the Pelican Playhouse and them, but I think it's responsible on our part to say that the money that's not used comes back to the city.
So perhaps, and I can speak with Omar and the manager to clean up that language if that's what the council wishes. But then on section 6D, I guess we can change that to be a not to exceed amount as opposed to an automatic dispersal.
That's fair, Counselor. That's fair. Maria, did you make a motion?
Well, I'd like to make a motion with that stipulation for item 6C, that any money that's not spent on equipment repairs is returned to the city and not kept by the provider.
Which Heidi just reiterated or refashioned perhaps.
And just to make clear on the item that Councilwoman Mitchell brought up on my explanation, In section 13, it's where we talk about the city manager having the ability to renew the agreement for up to 4, we'll have the 1-year term from October 1 to September 30. And then the 4 renewal years. There's an error, just a carryover that I want to just let the council know that we'll fix it. That first sentence that says approval by the city council, we don't want to have to keep bringing this back to you year after year.
Which we have, is my point.
So we can avoid that by just entering into this agreement.
All right, why don't we do this? We don't have to approve this tonight, do we?
Well, it's an item, sir.
Yeah, but we don't have to approve it tonight. We're gonna have the.
You can stay it if you want to move it.
If everybody's in agreement with Councilwoman Mitchell's proposal, why don't we let the city attorney draw it up straight up, right, and then have a vote on it on the next meeting?
I'm in favor of that, sir.
I agree.
All right, so do you have, so everybody, do we need a motion on the amendment that Council Mitchell has, or just that you understand what council agrees to and you can state the new resolution the next meeting?
I think you need to withdraw the motion and we'll just move it to the next meeting. I think that's what you do.
Omar, is their current contract expired already?
No,
No? Okay,
no, it expires now, like in October.
okay.
Concludes at the end of the fiscal year.
I guess I'd like to bring up something else for discussion under this item, since we're talking about a contract and it's something that has occurred from something else, not related to Pelican Playhouse, but it's a point that I think we should consider.
Wait, let's get.
Well, it's related to
the
related to the contract renewal, Mayor, is that I think it's incumbent upon us to, there's, I believe, several contracts in the city that we've just kind of been renewing without going out. And we do that because we pretty much are pretty sure that no one else is going to be interested in the contract or give us a better deal or whatever. So I'm not saying that there's anything, I'm saying that we've renewed these contracts automatically because of our intentions are that we're not going to find anything better. However, I think it's reasonable to say that every so often we are sending contracts out to see what else is out there. I think that's also something that's a part of responsibility on our part to ensure good fiscal responsibility of the taxpayer dollars. So I'm not sure, Heidi, if on this, with what you're saying is that they can renew it up to 5 years. Does that mean that anywhere in those 5 years we can't, should we need to put it out for bid?
No, it's within, it would be within the manager's discretion. The way
Okay. All right, thank you.
All right.
So I'm willing to go with the mayor's recommendation on this, that we move it to the next meeting after council has the ability to go through it and massage it.
Heidi, you got everything that you need to put in the new presentation for the next meeting?
I do, Mayor.
Okay. All right, so we're going to table this and have it fitted the way we want it, as we discussed tonight, and we'll vote on it the next meeting.
Okay.
Okay. We go to old business. No, other business. There's a lot of old business. No other business. Okay, we go to reports from the city attorney. Anything?
No, Mayor.
Okay. City manager, anything from you?
No, Mayor, not at this time.
Okay. We'll go to Councilwoman Mitchell. You want any closing thing? Any closing?
I just wanted to, at the last meeting, I was remiss in not welcoming Councilman Fahet, Vice Mayor Fahet, to the council, to the dais. So I just wanted to tell you congratulations on the election, and it's great to work with you. And then the other thing is just to mention that, speaking of the Pelican Playhouse, they had a production this weekend, Alice in Wonderland, and I've heard it was awesome. It was a virtual production. I heard it was awesome, and I'm going to be watching it. I just Ralph sent me something so I can see it now afterwards. And that's all.
Oh,
thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Fasad? Did I say it right?
No, but that's all right. As long as my bosses get it right on my paycheck, they can pronounce it however they want.
Okay, go
So
ahead.
speaking of my bosses, I wanted to just, since we last met, school has started. And I want to just thank everybody in the city from Miami Springs Elementary, Springview, Miami Springs Middle, Miami Springs Senior High, Isaac Academy, AIE, All Angels Academy, Blessed Trinity, the Seventh-day Adventist. We have a lot of schools that are doing a lot of good in this community, and it's never been harder to educate our kids than it is now. And I think also we need to thank the parents that are at home with these students that are also doing yeoman's work, helping out. The closer we get to having kids back in schools, the more normal it's going to feel. But I know that it's been a bumpy start for everybody because this has been unprecedented. But I can't thank enough all the people that have been involved in trying to get our kids back into school and get things back to normal.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Petrolonga?
Nothing from me, Mayor. Thank you.
Councilman Best?
Thank you, Mayor. Walt, I would be remiss if I didn't welcome you to our first and relative to what you just said about all the Zooming and everything, and what we've been doing for 6 months, other than the one meeting we had, I think, Maria, right? I think we had one in the Rebecca Sosa Theater. You know, I do this stuff at Blessed Trinity. I teach catechism there, and we just started that, and now they asked me to do the adult program too. So I'm going to be doing this. So I'm loaded up 3 times with this stuff, and I totally get what you said, Walt.
Nice.
And it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve, but you know what? But it works. If you do it right, it works.
Sure does.
Just like our meeting did tonight. Mary, you did a nice job. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I apologize for this situation with my computers. Erica tried to fix them up, but I'm still not getting my emails. I'd like people to know that I didn't get I had all my emails from before today, and they didn't come out again today. So I apologize to some of the residents that I couldn't get back to. And I thank Erica for getting me back on the meeting with the phone. It's really a shame I can't see all your faces, but maybe not so much of a shame. But anyway,
Billy, you want me to stop over? I'll deliver your emails to you.
Okay, but anyway, good meeting. We'll see you. We'll see you on the 24th? Is it
28th?
28th.
28th. We'll see you on the 28th. And
Yes, sir.
I hope that we can help out with and I know we're working on it, but I hope we can help out with some of the situations on the east side and the hotels. So everybody
said,
have a
sir.
good night, and God bless Miami Springs.
Well
Bye-bye.
said, sir.
This meeting's
Bye.
adjourned. This
Thank
meeting's
you.
adjourned.
All right, Bill. All right, now we got to figure out how to get